in the buhuth of fiqh, for example, say the Sistani, I have seen that according to his manhaj, and also according to the manhaj of his teacher, Sayyid al-Khuy, none of these tawqi'at have been transmitted to us by narrators who have been vouchsafed or who have been verified as being trustworthy and reliable by the Maraja and the scholars of Ilm-Rijal. In fact, what will shock you to know is that some of these nuwab themselves have been classified as, so their narrations actually in fiqh are dismissed. For example, I saw this a piece of research by Ayatollah Sayyid Ali al-Husayni Sistani, in which he rejects a narration because of the existence of Al-Husayn ibn Ruh, or Al-Husayn ibn Rawh, sorry, in its sanad. So that is very surprising because Husayn ibn Rawh is the naib of the Imam. So how can you dismiss? But yeah, they are very strict in Ilm-Rijal. They go by the methodology. According to the methodology, someone is not reliable and not authentic, or has not been authenticated by the classical scholars, then it doesn't matter how famous they are, it doesn't matter how praiseworthy they are, the narration will not be verified by the Maraji and the ulama. So you find that when it comes to the statements attributed to the 12th Imam and even the 11th Imam, a lot of these narrations, especially the later Imams, turn out to be unreliable. The ulama, you will see, when it comes to authentication, the graph of authentication goes very high when you go backwards. So you have much more authentic narrations from Amir al-Mu'mineen and the Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam and Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam up to Imam al-Rida alayhi salam. You have a very high graph. And then the later Imams, because they are under very high surveillance, and many of them are living in house arrest, and you have a lot of people pretending to be their nuwab. Okay, so for example, in the case of Imam al-Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam, you have a naib, a so-called naib by the name of Ahmad ibn Hilal al-Abarta'i. This man claims to the people that he actually collects funds in the name of the 11th Imam, and he lies against the 11th Imam big time. Now Ahmad ibn Hilal had become so famous that you will find today some scholars of Rijal will try to defend him because they need some of the narrations from him to justify some of their beliefs and practices. But when you go deeper, you find that Ahmad ibn Hilal is someone who has been cursed by the 11th Imam himself. So this is the worst kind of discrediting. Sheikh Tusi and Najati saying that this person is unreliable is one thing. And Imam Hasan al-Askari alayhi himself writing letters to the people, warning them that this person is a fraud. He's claiming to be our naib, he's collecting funds in our names, he's actually our enemy. And we have not authorized him to do any such thing. So yeah, definitely when you go by the time of the 11th Imam and also the 12th Imam, you find that there are the authentication graph goes really down. So the tawqi'at are used a lot in common discourses, but sanadan, it is very difficult to establish them, and that's why the strict scholars of Rijal and even the medium level strict scholars of Ilm-Rijal, they dismiss many of these tawqi'at and they don't do istidlal on their basis, and especially say the Sistani. The Sistani is very strict, and I have seen a bahth of his in which he does not allow istidlal on the basis of the narrations of some of these nuwab.